Some big news coming in of former Pakistan Army Chief General Bajwa, who has been heckled in France. While he was in France with his family, he was heckled on the streets of France right on his vacation. Bajwa was harassed on the streets as Afghan civilians called Bajwa a murderer. In fact, we can hear a man speaking and hurling abuses at ex-Pakistan Army Chief General Bajwa as he's been heckled. In this video here showing how he's seated on the stairs there while he's being abused by an Afghan civilian, calling Bajwa a murderer. In a video that's now gone widely viral on social media, General Bajwa and his wife of Pakistan are in France while an Afghan civilian accuses the Pakistan army of human rights violations, misconduct in helping the Taliban loot Afghanistan, and accusing General Bajwa of all of these counts and abusing him while he's with his family in France. Let's get you the audio of this video that's now gone hugely viral on the internet.
Sir, there are in Afghanistan ke jihad pitwi war ke jihad rawa da Afghanistan ke इस तरफ देखो तो अफगानिस्तान जहाद करेगी यार मैं नहीं हूं यार आदमी ठीक नहीं हो भाई आप वीडियो ना बनाए मैं भी पुलिस को बुलाता हूं पुलिस तक बुलाओ बुलाओ पुलिस को बुलाओ दाऊगुर पाकिस्तान दे फौज मशर कुनी बाजवा टول مر کونه ورکوله وزل ترغله د اروپا کې کونه ورکې پسپینه ګیره دا ورسره ناس چې دا خزه ده کلیسا ته نه نوت کلیسا نه ما په خیال ولور نه ما په خیال کلیسا ته نه نوت کلیسا نه راوت وځي کلیسا په خلو کې ناسته دلته مشاهده پولیس
Kurat Al-Ain Shirazi, a journalist with the Independent Urdu, speaking to us. Shirazi, please give us an understanding on this video that's now gone viral, showing General Bajwa and his wife on the streets of France, heckled by an Afghan civilian. He's been accused of human rights violations, etc., under his supervision while he was part of the Pakistan Army. Tell us more about this video here. How has this video surfaced?
Thank you, Jamila, Nabila. So the thing is that the video has been shot in France by probably by an Afghan who has been living there. And he has been, since you said that he has been talking about the human rights violations, so I'm surprised to see him asking a former general this sort of a question and using the kind of a language he is using there in a foreign country or anywhere. This is, first of all, condemnable while he was with his family. And as you know, when he's a former army general, and he, not an individual like your country, like India, like Pakistan, any country, you name it, an individual cannot influence any state's policy. It is the state's policy, first of all. And the second thing is that Pakistan as a country has been affected by the relations with Afghanistan. Situation we've been facing, we've been watching in Afghanistan over the last, I guess, 40 years. Pakistan is the only country which has been affected the most. And I guess Pakistani former general is not the right thing to do, because Pakistan has, I guess, not much to do with the situation we are facing, we are watching in Afghanistan right now. And I'm surprised to see that he has asked Pakistani, he could ask anyone else, any person from US, because US was there for more than 20 years. So I guess Pakistan is not, Pakistani general is not the right person to kind of language with. Be it any person, obviously, this is condemnable, but I guess we should not maybe talk about it in a way that this is something maybe this is going viral, or this is something which can be discussed, because if I were there in that situation and I was being abused, if you were there in that situation and you were being abused, this is not right. This should not be happening, I guess.
All right, we also have Pooja Shali joining us, who's been tracking those developments coming in from Pakistan, especially this video, Pooja, that's now gone viral, showing General Bajwa being heckled in France. We have with us Shirazi, who's a journalist with The Independent, says this is wrong, but what can you do? They have been accused of human rights violations, and it's not as if the foreign nationals or people across the globe are witness to it.
Nabila, this video is massively popular right now. It's viral on social media. Now, here's what's happening. Quickly to brief our viewers. General Qamar Javed Bajwa is a former Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan Army. He was on a vacation with a family member here, a woman family member. He's sitting with her. That is when someone starts to record, speaking in what appears to be Pashto language, and says, will you do jihad in Afghanistan now again? Tell me. He uses some very abusive words that we had to beep out in this video. When General Bajwa says, stop recording or I will call the police, the man then replies back with a curt reply, says, go call the police, and then starts to rant away in the Pashto language. Now, according to the speculation rife on the social media, it appears to be an Afghan civilian. Now, why is an Afghan civilian charging at a Pakistan former army chief? Because now, ever since the Taliban took over in 2021 in Afghanistan, there has been a lot of anger among Afghan civilians who believe that it is Pakistan's interference and support to the Taliban that has led to that immediate takeover and the brutalities that followed, and that is why that anger spilling out on the general, who was at the helm of affairs in 2021 at that point. And that is why it appears one of the Afghan civilian is going and charging when he recognized him on the streets of France. And it's not just this video of them sitting. Remember, the woman turns to him and says, stop replying. The man is recording, stop replying, and then they try to pretend they are busy with other things when the abusive rant is on. So clearly it's a very angry Afghan voice that we hear. He goes at least for the next 1 to 2 minutes while General Bajwa is sitting. Then he follows them also when he's walking with the woman family member on the streets. Joining me is Qurtalin Shirazi. She's a journalist with the Independent Urdu, who's called this condemnable as well. What do you say to this, Qurtalin, that there is a belief that this is an anger of Afghan civilian that is spilling against a Pakistan general?
It's that Pakistan has nothing to do with what's happening in Afghanistan. Afghanistan itself, or more like United States of America, has been happening in Afghanistan. And I guess from the last years or more so, we have been affected have been affected the most because of Afghanistan and the US and the other neighboring states who are in Afghanistan day-to-day affairs or the internal matters. Of course, a country matters cannot be interfered in, and I guess there are multiple beliefs, and there are some issues that obviously Qamar Javed Bajwa was at the helm of affairs at that time. He was the army chief, but we should know that an individual cannot influence, I will say it again, that an individual cannot influence any state's policy. It cannot influence America's policy. It cannot influence Pakistan's policy or India's. Let's say Mr. Narendra Modi, for example, if we say that he has been interfering in the internal matters of Afghanistan, how can a single individual interfere in any country's matters? Let's say it's Afghanistan or any other country, Pakistan. So a state which is managed by the first-tier leadership, the second-tier leadership, and that's it. An army general who's under the secretary of the Ministry of Defense.
The independent journalist, for joining us and to give us clarity on this video that's now hugely viral of General Bajwa being heckled while he's with his family on vacation on the streets of France.